In the year 1250, a Norman stonemason carved this signature mark on a paving stone for the Abbey of Mont Saint-Michel, high above the English Channel. 600 years later, in 1832, an Irish stonemason cut this mark to sign his work on the C&O Canal in western Maryland. Every year, some 400 Pennsylvania men follow in the tradition of their operative predecessors and adopt a mark to sign their symbolic work. It is the beginning of a journey through the bodies of the York Rite of Freemasonry. Freemasonry, this wonderful fraternity of ours, frequently is called a journey toward more light. There is a very good reason for that. It is a journey, and it can continue for a lifetime. Once he becomes a Master Mason, a man has completed the 3 basic degrees that make up ancient craft masonry. He is a Master Mason, and there is no other degree in Freemasonry that is higher or more honorable than that. There are many degrees that may have higher numbers and bestow fancier titles, but every one of them is secondary to the sublime degree of a Master Mason. But attaining the 3rd degree should not be the end of his Masonic journey. Instead, becoming a Master Mason has opened many new avenues for him to explore, new experiences to enjoy, and new friends to call brother. One of these avenues is the York Rite of Freemasonry. The York Rite is an umbrella that includes 3 distinct bodies beyond the basic symbolic or Blue Lodge. They are the Chapter of Royal Archmasons, the Council of Royal and Select Master Masons, and the Commandery of Knights Templar. The Chapter of Royal Archmasons is the first body encountered in York Rite Masonry. In Pennsylvania, the chapter confers 3 degrees: the Marked Master Mason, the Most Excellent Master Mason, and the Royal Archmason. Possession of the Royal Arch degree is a prerequisite for all additional York Rite memberships. These degrees are conferred in the 100 chapters that are part of the Grand Holy Royal Arch Chapter of Pennsylvania. The chapters are scattered across the state, with each serving an area that covers several Blue Lodges. Chapter programming varies according to each chapter's traditions. Usually they offer a combination of interesting programs and conferral of degrees. The Marked degree is the first required step that a Master Mason takes to further his Masonic experience in the York Rite. With it, he enters the Chapter of Royal Archmasons and gains better understanding of the previous Blue Lodge degrees. He adopts a distinctive mark that, like those of his operative and speculative predecessors, is permanently recorded in the Book of Marks. He also starts along a lifelong path of learning and companionship with like-minded men from all backgrounds. All Masonic degrees teach one or more valuable lesson. Marked degree gives unforgettable instruction in the virtue of charity toward all, but especially to the brethren. It also vividly illustrates part of the Blue Lodge ritual that becomes a key to the degree. For the first time as a Freemason, he receives his wages and understands the meaning of a familiar Masonic symbol. The Most Excellent Master Mason degree sees the completion of the temple, both symbolically and historically. It commemorates the dedication of the temple at Jerusalem in a solemn ceremony that places the Ark of the Covenant in its resting place. The candidate is received and accepted by his brethren as a builder. Throughout his Masonic career, a man has sought something that has been lost, the true word of a Master Mason. In the Royal Arch degree, he undertakes a long journey at the end of which he takes up his working tools to labor with his fellows. His diligent effort ends with a revelation, and he earns the title of Royal Arch Mason and is addressed as companion. The Royal Arch is termed the summit of ancient craft masonry. In the 18th century, this was literally true, because the Royal Arch was considered a craft degree that was conferred in Blue Lodges. In it, that which previously was lost had been found, and the summit of the fraternity had been reached. The Royal Arch degree does more. Having received the honor, the Mason may continue his journey. He now is eligible to petition the Council of Royal and Select Master Masons and the Commandery of Knights Templar. The 3 degrees conferred by councils are the Royal Master Mason, the Select Master Mason, and the Super Excellent Master Mason. All 3 enlarge upon the lessons taught in Freemasonry, with each being set in a different time period in relation to the building, destruction, and rebuilding of the temple. Councils regularly confer the first 2 degrees that constitutes full membership. However, there is a 3rd degree, that of Super Excellent Master Mason, that is conferred occasionally. Many experienced Freemasons regard this degree as being the most dramatic in Freemasonry. Using the destruction of the temple as its basis, it teaches an unforgettable lesson in fidelity. The summit of York Rite Freemasonry is the Commandery of Knights Templar. This body is unique in the Masonic family. It is a Christian body that has spiritual roots in the medieval Knights Templar and the Crusades. Commanderies confer 3 orders: the illustrious Order of the Red Cross, the Order of Malta, and the Order of the Temple. Beginning with the Red Cross, the candidate is led on a journey that bestows upon him 3 chivalric orders and emphasizes virtues that are as applicable in this 21st century as they were in the 10th. Freemasons consider the Order of the Temple to be the most impressive degree in Freemasonry. Its unique setting and the journey undertaken by the candidate during the conferral make it literally a pilgrimage that ends with taps from a sword, a firm hand, and the treasured words, "Arise, Sir Knight." The Commandery is a uniform body that is distinguished by its white plume chapeau and the swords carried by each uniformed Sir Knight. Commanderies frequently appear in parades and at patriotic and religious events as a highly visible Masonic presence. They gather annually for the traditional Gettysburg Memorial Service and at the Easter Sunrise Service in Alexandria, Virginia. To start his York Rite journey, the Master Mason requests and completes a petition for the local chapter. It is read, published, and acted upon. He may simultaneously petition his local council and commandery as a candidate for chapter, but he cannot receive the degrees and orders of those 2 bodies until he has been exalted as a Royal Arch Mason. Other doors may open to the Royal Arch Mason, but that depends on the level of his involvement in York Rite Masonry. There are many interesting side degrees and bodies, including honorary invitational bodies, in our wonderful York Rite constellation. But the Master Mason must begin his journey by taking his 4th step in Freemasonry. We welcome those who do.